I don't know how she does it. Like, I really don't. She did it all by herself. Nobody helped her.
She's so freaking authentic. It's a little unbelievable that this person can be so in the moment.
I've like been with her at the mall and have like people that she knows that I don't know be like, you don't know what your mom has done for me. She was like a god. It was weird.
She wants what's right, and she's gonna fight till the death.
That's what rock and roll is. You don't have to like me. Goal as a doula, as a woman, as a friend, as a mentor, is to help women find comfort in their own skin.
She not only trains and certifies doulas, but she also gets to the heart of what people are searching for.
You might think, oh man, like that woman's hardcore. Then you meet her and she like kisses your cheek and she calls you baby.
Thanks, baby.
Listen, baby, we're gonna do this. Does that excite you? All right, baby, we're gonna do it. And I'm just like, that was exciting. I wish my other bosses would talk to me like that.
After my meetings with her, I feel like I have this new walk about me. Like I strut a little bit differently.
It's unbelievable to watch. It's unbelievable to see the way people are around her. I mean, to me, she's Randy Patterson. Like, she's my best friend. She's my business partner. She's just Randy Patterson. But to everybody else, she's like, wow, Randy Patterson, you know? Like, I want to get my picture taken with Randy Patterson.
You know, there's a lot of controversy surrounding her, but anyone who has a struggle with her hasn't had the chance to, you know, sit down with her.
It's so important and so amazing that she has all of these connections with these women growing in this doula community, because hundreds of women are having these authentic experiences with this woman.
Her biggest thing is like, don't say can't. And she lives that truth every day, and she pushes me every day.
And pushing them past what they think they're capable of, which is exactly what we do in the birth room. So they're really tied together beautifully. I love it so much because I'm not just coaching someone to birth a baby. I'm coaching someone to birth their independence.
Randy's talking from experience. Randy's talking because she's lived through the gutter and come out the other side.
I grew up as the dirty kid, you know, like I was the kid that had like dirt on her neck and my pants were too short. Unfortunately, there was drug addiction that was a big part of my childhood. You know, people who are getting high like aren't thinking like, oh, when was the last time we washed the kid's hair? And so I was picked on, like really picked on, you know, to the point that it diminished any self-esteem that I had. I didn't feel cared for, and when you're not feeling cared for, it makes you feel not worthy of being cared for. I fell into the path that was presented to me, which was to get high and numb it. And I found myself in some really dark places. In fact, there was a time where my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, he and I were homeless.
We've been through a lot together. We had to, find shelter constantly every day.
I remember a time where I was challenged at the end of my day each day to write a self-esteem list. I was looking for 5 things at the end of my day that I thought were cool about myself. And I'll tell you what, on day 1, I sat for an hour with a pen and paper and nothing came out. I had nothing at the end of day 1. And at the end of day 2, I still had nothing. But on day 3, I came up with something. Day 3, I lived that day like I was gonna have to write something cool about myself at the end of the day. And I took some real tangible steps to build my self-esteem. And the first thing we needed to do was get jobs. But when you're homeless and you go fill out an application, you don't have an address to write on the application.
We're walking past a hotel and Randy saw someone she knows working there.
And I would clean the filthy rooms of this hotel in exchange for one to live in. But that's what we did, and we kept our money in a brown paper bag. And eventually we had enough money to put a security deposit down.
And when we got our first apartment, obviously it wasn't in a great neighborhood, so no furniture, nothing.
We had 2 sleeping bags, an acoustic guitar, and a battery-operated alarm clock. And that's how we transitioned from homeless to a building.
If I think like back, I think of like Girl Scouts. My mom was the Brownie troop leader.
One of the girls in my troop, her mom was a midwife, and she said, you need to work with women who are having babies. And I was like, the kind of babies that come out of your vagina? I have no like medical background, like that is not my deal. And she's like, oh no. She said, what you've done for these little girls has been absolutely outstanding, and you need to help women find their strength the way you're helping these little girls find their strength. All of a sudden there was this like weird presence on my shoulder that I refer to as self-doubt. And it was like, you can't do it, they won't hire you. You didn't graduate high school, you suck, you lived outside, like you're a piece of shit. And I was scared. I was scared in that way where you like procrastinate and freeze because you just don't feel worthy. And this midwife and my husband got behind me and braced their legs with 2 hands on my back and hauled me, pushed me, shoved me into this field. And I lied and said I graduated high school. And it worked. I'm not saying that's how you should handle life, but that's what it took for me to get over that hurdle. And that midwife took me under her wing, and she taught me about birth. And I also watched some women dig so deep and find this beast of strength that lived within them. And I watched those moments change those women's lives forever. And I knew that for some reason I was called into this work, and I absolutely had to help women find their strength.
I was at this training. Randy basically announces like, okay, we're gonna get real with each other and we're gonna unzip.
I really felt like, holy shit, can she command a room?
I remember specifically, I really didn't want to talk about some things. I wasn't ready to talk about it. I knew that I was gonna cry in front of these people. And she just sat there and she was just like, I can see that you are dealing with some, really raw, really real emotions, and that's okay, and that's real for you, and I see that you're hurting, and we don't want you to hurt anymore, and we want to hear it, and we want to talk about it, and we want you to be you, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's like, she asked those questions.
More than one of them said that this was the first time that they had ever shared what they were saying.
Wait a minute, no, I'm like, she's not supposed to know that I have more crap in my life. She's not supposed to know that that's going on. But it doesn't matter because she knows.
You think you're good at hiding the way that you feel, and you're not.
Randy's this really safe space to just let those emotions be present and be real.
Most of us want someone to care enough about us to reach in and pull us out. And I think most people just don't feel like it's their place to reach into someone else and lift them up. I feel like it is. I feel like it's my responsibility. I've taken responsibility for that role in the lives of the people who I put in front of me.
She, no questions asked, will believe in what you want.
It's like you have this really wonderful best friend who you've just been waiting to meet all of your life.
She doesn't let you take the easy way out. The easy way out sometimes is just, oh, I really can't do that. Randy will ask you why, and the answer is because I'm scared. And she says, well, we're all scared, but you have to step out into that and own your power.
She believes in them, and she believes in everybody's abilities to succeed on whatever level that is.
I think we don't talk about this. I don't think we just don't have these conversations. People make excuses and we go, oh, I know. But if somebody were to say to you, why is that happening to you? Why do you think that keeps happening to you? What do you think you're doing that keeps putting you in that situation? But nobody will do it. We're all afraid to do it. I do it. I'm not afraid to push somebody past their comfort zone. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're not going to like me? I can live with that if it means you might feel better about yourself. And I guess that's why they call me the rock and roll doula.